My name is Jordan Hunt. I'm a Senior Vice President here with Quility. I am from Lumberton, North Carolina, and I've currently been with the company since 2018. And before that, I was in the car industry. So I had a friend of mine that was introduced to Brian, and he introduced me to Brian. I had a conversation with Brian, I think it was February of 2018. And literally 1 week later, he got me to a national conference, and that's how this came about. So as far as quitting phases go, probably maybe 7 times a week. It's an incredibly difficult business, and what I've grown to do is actually be thankful that it is a tough business to do, because if it was easy, everybody would do it and we'd get paid $8 an hour, right? So it has to be just tough enough to make quitters quit. So I am incredibly thankful for those quitting phases. Inside of that first year, it was incredibly difficult, but it is so worth it. So one of the greatest adjustments that I had to make inside of my first year was not taking on the responsibility for new agents' success, right? Like if they're going to be successful, ultimately it's going to be their decision, and I can't want success for them more than they want it for themselves. My only responsibility is to be an example of what this business can do for you. The only responsibility that I have is going to be to make sure that I'm getting the results that I want and that I'm an example worth following. If people were to see where I'm at now in this business, I think one of the things that they could assume or actually struggle to believe about me is that I just struggled mightily, not in the beginning with my success, but after I became successful with just feeling like I actually deserved it. I was telling myself all the time, like, man, you just got lucky, Jordan. And man, like, just give it time. These people are all going to walk away and quit. Jordan, you actually aren't as good as you're telling yourself. And over time, what I found out was that I began to silence that voice by just making small promises to myself and just keeping them on a consistent daily basis. And over time, that internal integrity that I had with myself just grew to a place where I had so much evidence that I was a leader worth following that it was undeniable. So one thing that I wish I knew earlier in my business than I know now is the best part about this business. It's not the money, it's not the recognition, it's none of that stuff. One of the coolest things that this company has given me is to know that my children, and specifically that my son, watched me build this business. And he watched Daddy start at the bottom. He watched Daddy struggle. He saw Daddy wake up early every single morning. He saw Daddy, going to bed late. He saw Daddy working every single weekend that he could. And to know that he watched me start at the bottom and achieved what I have achieved there's no price tag that you can put on that. And that's one of the most important gifts that this company has given me. And without the struggle, without the hard times, without the difficult seasons, this wouldn't be possible. So over time, my definition of leadership has definitely changed. There's no amount of money that is going to be able to fill those gaps for me. I always thought, like, man, if I could just get to making 10 grand a month, it's going to be great. And then I started making 10 grand a month, and I was like, man, maybe it's going to be 20. That's going to be that magic number for me. And then I was like, then I started making 20 grand a month, and then I was like, maybe it's 30. And then I got to 30 and maybe 40, and then 40 and on to 50. And what I found out is, like, that's never going to be the end game. That can't be the ultimate result. And I think that money is a part of the equation of happiness and fulfillment in life. It's certainly in that pie. It's certainly a part of that equation. And if anybody tells you that money is not a part of success, they probably don't have a whole lot of it, right? And you're probably not very successful. So it's definitely on there, right? Like my upline told me once, that money is like one of the most important things out there. It's not the most important thing, but it's right up there with oxygen. So in the equation of happiness and fulfillment, I think that it's all about that fulfillment piece. And that only comes whenever who I say that I am, that I know that I am when nobody is looking. And that is a gift that nobody else on planet Earth is ever going to be able to give you. That's a gift that only you can give to you. So having gotten the opportunity to work with Brian Delaney for a little over 7 years now, one of the things that I respect the most about him is that the longer that I've known him and the closer that we have become, not just in business, but as friends now, is that who he says that he is when nobody is looking, that he actually is that same exact person in public. And that is so incredibly important to me. I talk about integrity all the time because that matters. That's really, really high on the things that are just most important to me. And he exemplifies that. He's not only changed the way that I run this business, he's just transformed the way that I just live my life in general. And I'm just incredibly grateful to be able to work alongside and with Brian. So how's life business on this side of success, right? On this side of the struggle? What I would say, the trips are phenomenal. Like, I didn't own a passport before I started here because I couldn't afford a passport. And even if I could have afforded the passport and get out of the country, I probably couldn't have afforded to get back in the country. So the money is great. I'm making more money than I've ever made. I get the opportunity to travel, do all these incredible things and bring my family with me. But what I would say is that is a piece of success, and that's only a very small piece of your life. The thing that I'm most thankful for with this is just what happens whenever you go home every single night. My marriage, my relationships with my family, like, we are not here looking just for better insurance agents, right? Like, selling more insurance is a byproduct of becoming a better husband, becoming a better father, becoming a better son, becoming a better daughter, mother, father, right? All those things. And to me, that's the greatest gift that this company has ever given me. If you feel stuck, if you're ready to level up, if you're ready to get to the next level, then how about we stop taking advice from people that are closest to us and we begin to take advice from people that are closest to your goals. So if this sounds like something you want to be a part of, then welcome home. This is the team for you.